was in total shock because I didn't think it could ever happen to me. Who does?
I did lose my child to the medical profession. It was really, really hard. I couldn't have ever spoken to a camera before or a mic. But all these things don't bother me anymore. I just want her story to be said.
When I deal with doctors and nurses and anybody else, alhamdulillah, we are educated enough to ask enough questions, even if a lot of people will not accept it here.
When you go through it like a movie in your head over and over, guilt, just massive guilt.
First I would kill him, then I would kill myself.
Once the child is there, it's very difficult to say what I would have done.
Probably when I was pregnant on Connor, it was the best time of my life. It was a lovely experience. He was a very easy baby to carry, so it came as a bit of a shock, obviously. Not just that Connor had Down syndrome, but that there had been no sign of this before during my pregnancy. I had had tests done, you know, the usual, and everything had been clear. So I reckon he was meant to be here. You know, that was his way of sneaking into the world quietly. It was rather traumatic when he was born, obviously, because I knew straight away. And he was taken away, and Terry was marvellous with him. I was in shock, really. We were told from the very beginning. The chief paediatrician of the hospital came in to me, and again, I was hoping for a miracle, that they'd made a mistake and they had to send off the results, and I'd be told, it's all right, take that beautiful boy and off you go and have a good life. And this fellow said to me, you know, it's all right. I know some of these children who survive until the age of 30. And I even know one who worked in McDonald's. And I thought, fantastic. You know, we're going to get free burgers all our lives. That's the extent of it. But from that moment down, I was almost taking away moments of his life, saying he's got 29 years and 11 months and 29 days to live. And I've been thinking, this is no way to begin a life. I just found it so negative, but the doctor didn't know, first of all, how to deal with me or the whole emotion of the thing. And he certainly wasn't up to date in his researching or his findings. And I thought, how can you do that to someone? How can you maybe... It doesn't take an awful lot to say, look, this is not the end. This is not the worst thing that can happen. If someone had told me then, and nobody really did, that it wasn't the end of my world, that everything would be okay, I would not have believed them. There was no joy or celebration. And I've often thought that was probably the worst thing that could have happened. It's a new life. In retrospect now, I can see how wrong that was, but we all grieved, all of us together. Because I suppose, again, no one expects to have to deal with disability or differences or imperfection. You know, you think, we set ourselves up, we have this image in our minds of a baby running down the park, kicking a football, and nothing is going to be different. And of course things are different. I found a very negative reactions here when I came back, but then it just could have been me. I have come across a doctor, and he was explaining to this teaching community that the child was a Mongol and the child was this, was that. And he said to me, did you know your baby had Mongolism? I said, yes, I know he has Down syndrome, yes. And he said, well, are you a working mother? Yes, I am. Is it your first baby? Yes, it is. Ah, well, this is why he has Down syndrome. And I thought, boy, you can't be that stupid. You can't possibly be teaching these young students that it's because a woman is a working woman that a child has a congenital condition that is accidental. Here we don't have support structures, but it's amazing how parents kickstart things themselves, and things have cropped up, have mushroomed from nowhere. We have so much infrastructure. There's the awareness, and there certainly are the levels of disability, and there's the money. Now I'm thinking they could all add up into something quite spectacular here. You know, we have all the new projects online. We have this fabulous sports city and all the rest. The government here wants to, you know, be the forerunners in health care. Well, gosh, we could make a huge dramatic impact on the world here by investing in our community who need just that little bit of help.
They'll come to this point where there isn't enough places for children. Like Connor has to go back to Middlesbrough this year to see a place who is specialists in hearing to talk about getting, well, not just special testing done, we do get that done here, but you know, they're a bit more advanced.
Who knows what things Connor can do? We will learn as we go along, and that will happen. I think he will be our master teacher. We will learn from him as a family and as a community. We will learn more from Connor, possibly, than we can ever teach him.
I can't imagine changing him. Initially, yes, I wanted him to change. I wanted him to be normal. I really did. And now if people said, well, we could do that, he wouldn't be the same baby at all. At all.
Zara is like this because she has been injured after the vaccine. The DPT, the second dose of the DPT vaccine has caused her to get brain damaged. And they said the doctors have confirmed it's a one-off case. It happens 1 in a million. But what if that child is your child? She is my 1 in a million. And why are we paying for something that shouldn't have really happened? If the doctors had just asked questions. I have reacted to vaccines when I was younger. And there are cases in my family who have reacted to vaccines as well. If they had asked us these questions, and maybe they would have felt that Zara is not a candidate, they shouldn't have vaccinated her. If there are signs to look for after the first shot, which I didn't know. Every time Zara has a seizure, even though I've experienced it so many times in my life, I still feel that this could be the last time that I'm going to see her alive. It's so scary. It's the worst thing for any parent to see. I can't tell you that pain that I go through every time she has a seizure. I try not looking at her face because it just kills me. It's so hard. There's a association, it's called the DPT Parents Together. It's the Dissatisfied Parents Together. They formed an association and they are fighting. In America, the lawsuits worth millions of dollars being given to the... I don't want the $1 million. What I need is awareness. I just want to prevent another child from being injured after the vaccine. I want the pharmaceutical company to say, yes, it was an error on our part. Yes, it is happening. I've waited to say this story for such a long time. I have put it in the newspapers. It is, I've always been told it's very controversial and you don't have any proof. But this is living proof. She is here. I have proof that Zara was born normal. And 16 hours after the shot, she did get her first seizure. She was only 4 months old. It was the second shot. And she was just 4 months old. She's 7 now. I still buy her toys for a 6-month-old child. I did lose my child to the medical profession. It was really, really hard. But I have come to terms with it now. I have accepted the situation I am in. And I am here to help a lot of other parents. Hi, Janai. This is Janai. And as you can see, I am a mother of 2 beautiful daughters. Not just beautiful outside, they're beautiful inside as well. Zara has taught us so much. through her silence, she speaks to us. I have tried locating adults with severe myoclonic epilepsy, and I haven't found anyone as yet. We've been through face reading, and we've got a horoscope read, and we've gone to tarot cards, and we've done it all. And they've all told us that Zara is here with us for a very short time. However long she is with us, I'm just grateful for every day that she is there with us. We are not embarrassed about Zara's condition. I'm not embarrassed to say I have two children. One is going to a college and one is in the school for special needs. She is the way she is.
When he was a year and a half, we discovered that he has autism, and we traveled with him to the States to get proper diagnosis. And he was actually diagnosed in 1992, or 1994 actually, with PDD-NOS, which means that we don't know what's really going on. But basically they explained to us that time that he has some autistic features.
The first thing I noticed was that shortly after he had his MMR vaccination, slowly but surely I wasn't hearing the words anymore. Before that, he was speaking a little bit. He would say Ernie when he watched Sesame Street. He would say bottle. He would say baba. He would say mama, like that. But over the next, he had the injection about 15 months, about 18 months. There wasn't a word coming out, nothing, not even mama. And if, I don't know if you can imagine how horrible that feels for a mother to hear her son say mama, mama, and then suddenly a few months later, you notice that he's not calling you that anymore. He's not saying anything. There's just sort of a slow dawning, of the realization that there's something much more sinister going on, with your child. It was hard for a long time, and there's a lot of guilt that goes through your mind when you're a mother, for a child who has autism. You go over it in your head about 1,000,000 times. What did I do wrong? What did I do? Did I eat or drink something wrong when I was pregnant with him? Did I give him the wrong kind of medicine when he was sick? Did I not, nurture him enough? Maybe I didn't do some of the right things, and you go through it like a movie in your head over and over. Guilt, just massive guilt.
It was around a year and a half or a year and 8 months that he stopped saying mama. And after maybe 9 years, 10 years, he started saying it back again.
Oh, that was happy.
And it was like him being born again. All the emotions that comes with it,
Yeah.
There he is, he's born again. It was a very happy occasion for us, and we remember it distinctly that after nine years of not saying mama, he started saying it again. It was quite emotional for my wife at that time. Some professionals, unfortunately, they don't give you hope, which would be fine, but don't kill the hope. Don't tell them there's no use. He's going to be this way for the rest of his life. We live on hope, that one day things will get better and better and better. If we lost hope 9 years ago, I truly believe that he wouldn't be the way he is right now. The one thing that is very true on an emotional level is that the grief is never finished, especially with autism, because the child physically looks normal. If he sits in one place, nobody will realize something is wrong with him, and that deceives the parents sometimes, especially in the beginning phase of realizing that your son is autistic. You look at him, you say, he looks fine. Then suddenly he does something and just reminds you all over, I was mistaken. There is something wrong with him. And that kind of puts you back into the grief again. And I think part of overcoming that, part of getting over with the grief is to realize what you got is good. He has good sides. We enjoy him. We have fun times with him. He's more challenging, but we still enjoy him as our son. And that kind of lessens the impact of not getting the perfect child that every parent think of. So we have to keep reminding ourselves on a daily basis that alhamdulillah, we have him. He is good. We want him. It's okay what he has. We can handle it.
When Dad told me I have syndrome, I was a bit scared, but a bit upset as well, so I got used to it a long time, so don't know why I had this condition, I don't know.
She was born at 3 pounds in weight and I think she was 6 weeks premature. So at first, when the development wasn't going quite as it should, we thought that it was because of the prematurity. And it was about a year and a half to 2 years before we actually, after lots of different tests, we found out that she had Williams syndrome. And it was pretty much in your face that this is the problem, that there's not a lot we can do about it, apart from special schools, a caring environment, and a lot of love, really. But it was a bit of a shock, to say the least.
With Sarah, when I was told by the specialist that she had Williams syndrome, she was diagnosed by a specialist, it was a relief actually, because we didn't know why she wasn't progressing as quickly. And really taking advantage of the toys around her and her friends, she seemed to be very closeted and in her own world. So for me, it was a step forward then, because I knew what to do after that. But before then, no, I was a worried parent.
To be honest, speaking to other Williams syndrome parents, I didn't find that useful. If anything, I found it slightly alarming. And they all seemed to be a bit closeted, towards society. They were going out just with other handicapped children, being kept very much in the family group. But we've never done that. I mean, Sarah's one of my best mates, where we go everywhere together, partying, and during the day she has pretty much the same kind of social life as you did, didn't she?
She does.
I think she has a better nightlife than I do, because my dad's always taking her out to clubs, like meeting new people. She enjoys socialising. That's just what she does, really.
I mean, special needs children do bring a lot of pleasure and happiness to families in their own way. And I think if society could see within the family, the nucleus of the family, and see what these children bring to the home and also society, then there wouldn't be any prejudice.
In the Middle East, they've got a bit of a way to go. They've got very good facilities now in Dubai with the schools and the training, and Sheikh Mohammed has been great donating land, and he gets involved with the kids quite a lot. What's needed now is, one would be a respite care facility where these children can go for maybe, say, 2 nights a month with some of their friends. That gives the parents a break, so that they can handle the pressures, and it enables them to spend time with each other, and also with the normal children in the family.
They're good parents, and when I feel lonely, they're always there for me if I need help. Like when I was ill, my mom was there to help me a lot. I say thanks to my mom and dad looking after me. And I hope they'll always be there for me to help me.
Okay, I want to sing now. Who's going to sing with me? One, two.
There was a time when she was born that I was not aware of what her condition was because no one was telling us anything about it at that time. And 40 days after having her, when we went back for my checkup, the doctor suggested that there was a little bit of retardation, but they did not say anything openly about it. We decided then to take her for a second opinion to one of the doctors in Kuwait. And the first reaction that he had to seeing the child was, oh, she's a Mongol. Don't waste your money on her. She's going to die anyway. That's what was the first thing that I heard about my child having a condition. The way it was put to me, it was a very distressing thing because we really did not know what was happening. We had blood tests done. We were then told that she had a condition called trisomy 21, which is a Down syndrome condition. And there was nothing that could be done as part of medication or a cure, that she would have to live with that condition. Because Sasha was born with 5 defects in her heart. She had various hospital trips, I remember, in the first 2 years of her life. It was very traumatic for all of us. We decided then to take her to India for her checkup and were told that she would have to be operated almost immediately because her condition was very serious. I was informed after around about 12 hours that she wouldn't probably make it. And we had to call everyone. We had to call everyone from the family to actually be over there by our side. Well, luckily she did come out of that, and then she's had open heart surgery after that. She pulled through because she was one hell of a fighter. It was that time that I met a very nice mother who had a child with Down syndrome. And I went and I spoke to her and I found out how she manages with situations like that. And one good thing that she said that actually changed my perception of everything was that God only gives certain people children with conditions like Down syndrome or any other special needs because He knows that we can handle it. Dubai is doing a lot. It's a very cosmopolitan place. There's a lot of stuff that is happening. But ideally speaking, we would really look at getting a vocational training center to inculcate the children who have become of age, like Sasha's age, who are around about 18 and above, who cannot remain in school anymore. And they actually need to be brought out of school and be given vocational training so that they can be put into the workforce. That is what our dream is, and that's what we're all going to try and work for, and hopefully try and put people like Sasha into the working place. That's exactly what we're trying to do, and we'd love to have all the support possible.
Mama, I want to fight it.
Yeah. We have to fight all situations. When she was in hospital, so she's become a tough cookie. So what did I say?
You must fight it.
Fight it, yes. We have to fight everything and then become strong, right?
And healthy.
And healthy and help everyone.
Initially, when he was born, we didn't know he looked quite normal. It is at the age of 3 months. We found him, he's got some fits kind of thing, like, some rolling of his eyes and all. and I didn't know what was it. Like, I didn't know what was epilepsy actually. That fits is basically epilepsy. I didn't know what was fits, what was epilepsy. I used to just tell them he has this problem of rolling his eyes, he's getting scared of some noises. And they told me it's quite common for small kids to have this problem. So we just ignored it. So we did his MRI and things like, it was confirmed as autism plus tumor, brain tumor. Tumor is basically in both his eyes. I think it's called as glioma. In autism, there is no such cure for autism. It's just you require therapies for it. Because he's got a lot of behavior problems, like not sitting in one place, you know. And for his tumor, the doctor told me to do his MRI every six months. I'm a single parent and I'm just looking after him on my own. I'm actually with my parents right now, and even they're finding it quite difficult to handle him. First I would kill him, then I would kill myself. That's what I think personally. In my current situation, as a single parent, I would think, see, after all, yeah, we do get frustrated with him a lot. A lot means a lot, especially now. Currently, he's becoming really very aggressive, very restless. As in the society, nobody likes to accept this kind of kids. Like, I take him to a lot of places like parks and shopping malls and a lot of places, and I have a lot of complaints about him regarding his behavior, not sitting at one place, you know, hitting people, because what he wants, and nobody understands.
Omar was born on the 17th of April, 1994, full-term baby, exactly on the same day